It is beyond a doubt that all our knowledge begins with experience. Immanuel Kant. Well, my friends, our beginning and our ending of knowledge for trading is experience. We experience every day 10 to 15 minutes following these charts, practice trading, training, and learning. And it is the best way, on-the-job training, the best way to learn. And all you have to do is spend the time. Don't worry about how long it takes, because once you master the charts, it will make up for all the time you ever spent. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks, bonds, and gold are up. Bitcoin down again. Let's jump first into the S&P 500. Remember me telling you yesterday that I did not feel comfortable jumping into this trade. It just did not set up the right way for me. I didn't like the way that the S&P was looking, and we opted not to jump into it. And that what happens when you have these big pullbacks, markets tend to bounce back. Well, if we look at the S&P 500, we can see where it jammed up today, 1.63%. And what did it do? Well, any amount that it moved down, it pretty much recovered from. In fact, if we look at let's see, SH, we can see I went ahead and set it up in case those of you who did make a trade, made a trade on Friday. You can see that it's already bounded all the way down to the 1.83% loss and would have pulled you out today. And you basically would have made nothing but have lost your entire position. Did not like the way it originally set up, did not feel comfortable with it. Now, if we look, well, let's go back. Let's look at the chart where it is. Now, again, not that it's necessarily going to continue to go up, but as we look at the Tuesday, Wednesday, 2-day candle, it is now turned into a doji. Means lots of indecision. It is a green doji tending to go up. We look at the half day. At the end of the day, it pushed through, the candle itself pushed through the weekly trend line on the half day. Again, hasn't done that yet on the 2-day. We have still a red down candle on the weekly, but it is significantly weaker than it was. It may revert back to going down. This could just be an anomaly, but it could also be the market really regaining its strength and moving up. So we are paying very, very close attention to that. Now let's look at the NASDAQ 100. It's up almost 3% for the day. You can see where it bounded up in the morning and the afternoon. Still decently below that weekly trend line on the half day. It is not a doji. It is a red spinning top. Still lots of indecision. Still below that weekly trend line. Still have a red down candle. Now if we look at PSQ, we can see that indeed it's not even knocked out all of the money in our green area. Remember, we went ahead and took profits when we hit the green, when we hit actually the top, our profit band, and then we let the rest of it ride, seeing if we could capture another, 2.76%. We still are in the profit zone with the other half of that trade. We've not pulled any of that yet. We will be monitoring things very closely to see what happens tomorrow. And if indeed we make a decision to pull that trade, we have not yet. We are watching, waiting. We've already captured a nice return on the first half of the trade. We're watching the second half. Haven't lost anything on that yet either. Remember, you never have a loss until you sell. We had potential profit here, but again, it wasn't up to the mark that we had set, and we have not pulled that yet. We will keep watching it. So again, still have a good bit of downward pressure on both the S&P and the NASDAQ 100. This pop-up for today is just that, a pop-up. We will keep an eye on it, particularly as markets clear in the morning after 10:30. Remember, that's idiot hour. We don't trade during that time period. We watch, see what the market's going to do, and then start making decisions after that, after things start settling out. Now, let's keep moving. And again, all the advice we give here is simply educational. In fact, we do not give any market advice. What we share here with you is teaching and training. We're not a stock calling service. We're not a Bitcoin, bond, gold calling service. We're an education firm. I want you to practice trade with us. Doesn't cost you anything to do that. Let's move from stocks to bonds. Bonds up 1.02% for the day. Maybe this is shaking out a little bit now. That volume has increased nicely on the weekly. We're just through Wednesday and we're almost up to average volume. We have a nice green candle on the 2-day, nice green candles on the half-day, up in the morning, about the same in the afternoon. Nice green candle now forming for the week. Maybe bonds are getting ready to take off. We shall keep our eye on things and see where they continue to go. What about gold? Well, gold up 1.81%. Not our biggest gainer for the day, but a nice one. And gold is pushing up toward that purple ceiling. We've seen it hit that now 3 times, bounce off. Maybe it'll clear it this time. We shall see what gold does. We, of course, had gold pop up higher than average volume back on the week beginning the 15th. Then, of course, we had a doji last week, which sort of took us out of things, thinking it might go down. I told you I didn't feel comfortable with that, wasn't pulling the trigger. Now we see it going up. Will it bounce off and then move over strongly going down? I don't know. Maybe gold's getting ready to take off. But if markets, again, bound down again strongly, remember what happens if we have huge market sell-offs. People have margin calls and they are selling everything to meet those margin calls. Means that typically gold, bonds, Bitcoin, all that stuff tends to go down with it. Don't know if that's going to happen or not. We'll keep an eye on the prize. And you know what? Just for good measure, let's see what GDX, that's gold miners, see what they are telling us. You can see GDX is again a green spinning top for the week. It had a nice up day, still below that weekly trend line. We had 3 down candles on the 2 days. Latest 2-day is a green spinning top. Again, we have indecision there. Don't know if indeed gold miners is going to go up or not. Not telling us a whole lot more than gold itself. Lastly, we'll go to HODL. What is HODL? That is the VanEck Bitcoin ETF, and it is pulling back again 0.95% today. We can see we're over the last day and a half or so, 2 days and a half, Bitcoin has been down. We have a red down candle sitting there on the weekly trend line on the 2-day chart. Red down candle there, but green this week going higher on the weekly. That happened when? Back on Monday. You can see, let me go down here. You can see on Monday morning where Bitcoin spiked up, but since then, been going down. So we'll keep our eye on Bitcoin, still in the green there, still long, and we will see where it continues to head. Well, I always love to hear from you. If you have questions, problems, concerns, why don't you reach out to a CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.